Yes, welcome to another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth. Zaccheus, what up?
Hey, what's good?
What's going on? This is the Fifth General speaking. All right, so we're going to get into another episode. This is season 2, episode, what is it, 11?
Yeah, I think it's 12.
12
maybe.
probably? Oh, let me see. Let me make sure. Episode 12. There we go.
That's right.
All right.
yeah.
Hey, I want to talk about something that's interesting. Hey, the service that, so we work with Anchor to do our podcast, and Spotify just acquired Anchor. So
wow,
I wonder what that's gonna do for the future, our future, and also the future of podcasting. So, shout outs to them for that, and I want to thank Anchor for allowing us to use their services to distribute our podcast, and also to helping us get a sponsor. So shout outs to them. I just want to mention that.
Yo, big up.
So on this month of Black History, is usually when a lot of racist stuff happens the most. Let's just keep it real.
Right.
Okay? That's why Black people really got to be on guard,
Yes.
Because what just so happens to happen that made the news, let me go to the Instagram post. Prada and Gucci thought they was slick, thinking you could just do some blackface, mammy and Sambo figurines on clothing and think we not gonna know. It's 2019, and y'all still doing that. And what I mean by y'all, I mean these fashion designers, these fashion creators. Y'all still want to do that? Really? I mean, what did y'all think? Y'all thought that we were so stupid? Well, some of us are, sadly. They're still gonna buy Gucci. There's a coon right now spending his income tax on a whole bunch of Gucci. I'm telling you. All he was able to afford was a bag and a belt.
See, overexpensive. See,
Prada and all that.
Yeah.
Hey, Zaccheus, you remember when the brother years ago, young brother, worked hard for his money.
Yes.
Went up in that store, Barney's, and bought him a Gucci belt that was like, I don't know, $300.
Yes, I remember that.
And remember, they called the cops on him because they was like, ain't no way this is his money. He up in here trying to scam us. And he was detained for all these hours. Remember that?
Yes, I remember. Oh, yes.
So the point I'm making is the brand don't respect you, and the store you buy it from don't respect you.
Right.
And when y'all gonna learn?
Right.
Zaccheus, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to dig into the history of blackface. I want to dig into that history because a lot of our young folks don't know.
Right.
A lot of older folks are very aware of it, but a lot of us don't pay attention to history.
Right.
So I can get into the history of that and let people know that blackface is nothing new. Been in the during the 1830s.
Minstrel.
Minstrel. During the shows, the call it the minstrel shows. In 1830s. There used to be an all-white cast when they used to put on their plays to entertain their people, and entertain the other white folks.
Yep.
They used to put on the plays, and they used to put on blackface. They used to put on some kind of substance and rub it on their face, and they used to pretend to be black by putting on blackface, rubbing the substance on their face and creating a black makeup on their face with red lipstick, and they call it minstrel. And what they do is they entertain the audience with the blackface. Now when they put on the blackface, they were subservient, more like
big time,
like the white man pretended. The white man on the stage used to pretend to whip the person wearing the blackface, and it was entertaining to them. They found it funny, amusing. They found it entertaining. And actually, if you I don't know if some is on YouTube. If you go into dig into history, you can see it's called minstrel. Just type in minstrel. You can actually see that they actually even pretended them to be pets too. They put on their little ropes around their neck and hop around like their pets. The little kids used to put ropes around their neck and hop around like their pets. And while they were wearing the blackface, this, you know, if you look at it, it's very offensive. And it's been going on. It's just been 100 years. You know, putting on blackface, and it's supposed to be amusing and entertainment to the white supremacy. When a not a white person put on blackface, and if you look at it, for those who don't know, they call it dementia. Well, if you look at it, it's very degrading, and it's very subservient. It's very offensive. You know, they found it very amusing to just parade for them to put on blackface, for them to parade around the stage, and parade and acting subservient with getting whipped, and they just sat back and they just laughed at it. So when you see so my point is, if you look at today and you see people with the different fashion design and the different clothing brand names putting on, and you see people wearing the black face, and you see white folks putting on the black face, is offensive. It's going back, it's stemming back from that time, 2019. Yeah. We shouldn't be seeing that no more. But for some of the white folks, some of the supremacy, it's amusing.
Yep.
So that's why we're offended by it. And big up to Spike Lee for shouting them out, man. You know, big up to Spike Lee.
Yeah, T.I.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Spike Lee. Shout outs to T.I. But I just want to talk about this agenda for this boycott. So I saw there's it went viral. It's on T.I.'s Instagram. Well, it might be on.
Yes.
Let me get that right. It's either on T.I.'s or Spike Lee's. Let me get the facts up.
Yeah.
Let's see. So they're talking about how long they want this boycott to last, right? It's on T.I.'s. Okay. But I don't know if he started the actual post per se. He probably just shared it on his. But it says here, Gucci call to action. Number 1, stop buying Gucci for the next 3 months. 2, if you own anything Gucci, do not wear it. 3, share with the network, meaning social network. I disagree with the 3 months thing. Number 1, it should be a lifetime ban. Lifetime.
Exactly.
And Spike Lee said,
Spike
Lee said, boycott until they hire black designers. No, that's not enough. That's not enough. We need our own support, man. So I appreciate T.I. for doing what he did next. He put first he put Moncler brand on blast because they got a coat with blackface all over it.
Oh,
from years ago. So he put them on blast and said boycott them too. So he put up his brand, his clothing brand, a coup. That's AKOO. Support that.
Yes.
Rich Broke Clothing, another black owned. What is this called? Strivers Row, black owned.
Yes.
Another one. Hidoki Bespoke. I'm probably saying it wrong. Amir James. And what's the other one? Served Fresh. So this is what he posted on his Instagram as far as clothing lines to support. While you're boycotting Gucci and Prada.
Right.
But like I said, I'm done. First of all, I ain't never bought a Gucci brand product of anything. I ain't never bought no Prada. None of that.
A lot of the ladies like the Gucci bag.
Of course they do. Of course they do. They like it because it's a status symbol. But black women, you know, it's time for y'all to support yourselves. You've been spending all this money on weave that ain't yours, and all this money going into the pockets that ain't yours. It's time that y'all support yourselves, sisters, brothers, y'all too.
Yes. Hello.
You know what I'm saying? We done made. Dr. Claude Anderson said years ago when he was at Fred Price's Dr. Freddie Price's church years ago at the Faith Dome. He said black people are the only people that have made everybody rich except for themselves.
Ooh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Think about it. We spent 1.3 trillion in consumer goods. Can you imagine if that was spent back in our neighborhoods?
Exactly.
I mean, we gotta. Well, if that was spent amongst our people and their businesses, then we could actually have our neighborhoods.
Right.
You know, because a lot of our neighborhoods, they're not our neighborhoods. We just live in them. We just occupy them, but we don't own none of the stores, none of that. The only thing we own is barbershops and beauty salons. No, it's got to be more than that.
It's got to be more than that. Yeah.
We don't even own the beauty supply stores where we got to get our hair products. Come on now.
Yeah.
Y'all know the game.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know the game. Okay? So, I'm done with them, man. Tamika Mallory posted something about, you know, boycotting Prada and Gucci. So, shout outs to her. They've been trying to come at her neck because she was part of the women's march. Tamika's she's an activist. Tamika was part of the women's march that happened not too long ago in D.C., and then they was like, yo, but what's up with your affiliation with Farrakhan? She's like, yo, I don't have an affiliation with him. I was at Savior's Day, and then he was there, so I paid homage and respect to him. Right. And then they want her to denounce him, but she's not going to denounce him. What's the point of denouncing him? You know, why don't you know, if Trump is not going to denounce them people in the MAGA hats, that AKA the new version of the Klan hoodie, if he's not going to denounce them, and then you're okay with him saying very fine people, then to heck with y'all.
Exactly. We're not gonna announce Farrakhan.
Thank you.
Straight up. We're not. I support Farrakhan.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not gonna hold the president of the United States accountable for aligning himself and giving an excuse and a pass to blatant white supremacists who historically, I'm talking about when the Grand Wizard or whatever, was shouting them out and all this other stuff, and you know the KKK. Here's the thing, and I just want to make this clear. I'm not saying that Trump has supported the endorsement of the KKK. What I'm saying is it speaks volume when the KKK can say that's our president, because the KKK didn't say that about George Bush. I don't recall the KKK saying, hey, that man right there, George Bush, he's our president. They dang sure didn't say it for Clinton and Obama. So all I'm saying is it speaks volume because, look, there's a saying that says real recognize real. But then there's also the devil recognizes its own. That's why the KKK said that's our guy. How about that?
They didn't say that. They ain't just saying that just to say it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they recognize their own.
Exactly.
So, what's up?
If an angel and a demon meet, they know exactly what they're looking at.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. The devil recognizes its own, and so that's their guy. So
exactly.
And then you know. So all I want to say to all y'all people, if you're gonna continue to defend Trump, then I'm gonna defend Louis Farrakhan. How about that? Exactly. That's my stance that I'm taking. Anyway,
that's right.
Zaccheus, what else you got to say about this, man?
Yo, there's a lot of folks that they jump on the bandwagon as far as like, okay, I'm not gonna buy Prada, I'm not gonna buy Gucci. But let this be continuous. It shouldn't stop after 3 months. You shouldn't boycott it after 3 months. Okay, I go back and buy Prada and I go and buy Gucci. This should be a continuous effort. And it should be a continued effort to build our own business, our own.
Yep.
What's wrong with trying? What's wrong with making efforts to own your own business?
Exactly, man. It should be a
you
good
know.
thing,
Big up to some of the people that's trying to start something, like Dr. Umar Johnson and Dr. Boyce Watkins, who talks about that daily, about running your own business.
Yeah.
So we gotta learn how to build our own capital and learn how to do things on our own, so we don't have to depend on no one and have to be. Right now we're still the biggest consumers. Why is that?
Yeah.
We're the biggest consumers.
What did you say on what did you say on set the example?
I said, wow, man, it's a long time I did that song, but man, I said that.
Well, we always have to be consumers.
Why consumers. Can't we be, Yeah, why we have to be consumers?
Why can't we be business owners? And then we all need some structure.
Why can't we be business owners?
It's good to see Mama and Papa.
It's good to see Mama and Papa. Yeah, in the house. It's good to see Mama and Papa. Yeah. And it's good to be on our own business. That's right. Mm-hmm. And it's good to circulate money in our own community.
Well, everybody else does it.
Yeah.
Somebody asked. I remember a question that was asked on a program somewhere, and they said, "How come white people never have to have these discussions?" Because white people already own 95 or at least 98 or 99% of Fortune 500 companies already. So this is why they don't have to have this conversation about their businesses not getting supported, because everybody supports a white business. Everybody.
Yeah. Everybody.
But nobody but nobody supports a black business. And the only way a black business gets supported is by black people. That's why it's so important. Mm-hmm. That's why it's so important too for black folks to support their own, because other cultures do. You know, the Asian community supports their own. That's why they're able to have, Koreatowns and Chinatowns.
Right.
And you got little Indias popping up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're able to have these establishments because they support their own. Now, I will say this, that the other community, the other cultures are not under attack and targeted like we are, though. So that's why they're able to build. I mean, I ain't never heard of a story where Chinatowns was getting bombed, like Black Wall Street got bombed. I'm just saying.
Exactly. This is say, and yeah, we just say exactly. This is a little beyond the United States. If we go to the Caribbean news, the Chinese has for years and for decades has invested property in Jamaica for years.
Yeah.
For years, for decades.
The takeover.
No, it's been a conversation. It's been a conversation with the Jamaican government about, and with some people that is from Jamaica and live in Jamaica, saying that, listen, we need to have our own, because it's sad to say that when foreigners come in your land and they own stuff, and you've been here for centuries and don't own anything.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So we gotta start thinking constructively and stop tearing on each other and start building constructive. And that's why I said just big up to some of the people who are striving towards that, to build schools up, because we only know how we can help our kids, and we can have them get a good education. We can strive for them to get the best education, not a good education, but the best education, and to bring up our young women and men as decent adults, and also being proud of who they are. We need to think about these things, my sisters and brothers. We need to think about it, because they ain't not gonna think about it for us. Mm-hmm. We'll continue being consumers, and we'll continue getting slapped in the face like brand name businesses like Prada or Gucci. Why? Because we are they know that we're the consumers. Now some of these businesses, like I said, years ago, like I think it was a thing with the Cristal and certain brand name products that it was not designed for us to consume, but we just happen to consume it because we want to have that status quo. We want to live on that status. We want to live on that status quo. You know, there was a time when Jay-Z said, "You know what? I'm not going to support Cristal." No. Yeah, and there was a time when you listen to the song by Kanye West, "All Fall Down." You know, we're addicted to retail. What he said in one of his verses.
Yes, he did.
So true.
But then he also said, but then he also said, black dealer sell crack, black man black dealer deal crack, black man sell crack, black man do crack, and a white man get paid off for all of that or something.
All
like
of that.
Yeah. On All Falls Down.
I
got the lyrics a little bit wrong, but
but
anyway,
we know. Yeah,
but
exactly.
you get the point. But
exactly.
Yeah, you're right. It's not. It's a problem. It's something that it's ongoing. It's something that we're always going to have to talk about. So I just want to stay on the blackface subject because this is leading into what I wanted to get into. The governor of Virginia. You heard about this, right? The governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam. There was a old photo he got with him wearing blackface, standing next to a guy wearing a Klan uniform, supposedly a Halloween picture. Okay.
Wow. See that?
Right. And he dressed up in blackface. And so he said in an interview with Gayle King, he called black people, and he said when black indentured servants came to this nation, Gayle King corrected him and said, "Wait a minute, you mean slavery?" And then he goes, "Yes." So he tried to be slick and downplay slavery by calling black people indentured servants. Excuse me? How do you call people who are stolen?
From a land.
Sold and bought. You know, stolen and sold and bought, because not all, let me say this. Black people, do your freaking research. Not all black people were sold. We were kidnapped. Kidnapped. You will find so many materials that was used to trap black people on the coast of Africa, on the western coast of Africa, to bring them on chain nets and all types of stuff, booby traps, everything. They even killed a lot of the kings of the kingdoms that didn't even want to sell their slaves. Not everyone willingly sold it. You know, there's this narrative that all these black folks in Africa just said, "Have them." No, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen, no.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Do your research, people. Do your research. Do it.
Most of them refused. Most of them refused.
Come on.
And y'all can't argue that with me. Y'all need to know. Y'all need to read. Yeah. Anyway.
Exactly.
Let me get to what I'm saying. So she corrected him and said, "You mean slavery." So this is a man who is the governor. He's not going to resign. He got caught out there, and he's going to do whatever he wants. So you know what? I say it like this. I know some people, some of my faith-based people who are listening to this will probably say, "Hey man, you can't just, it can't just be racism for racism." I'm not saying racism for racism. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if they're gonna do whatever they want and not apologize, then we shouldn't apologize. That's all I'm saying. That's why I said earlier about if America, if you're not gonna hold Donald Trump accountable, the president, then don't hold Tamika Mallory accountable for supporting Farrakhan. I think it's only fair. I think it's only fair, even though Farrakhan and Trump are two different people.
Right, right.
So let's go into this study, and then I'm going to need your opinion, my brother.
Okay.
There was a study that talked about whiteface being, black amongst whites, is blackface acceptable for Halloween as a costume? And they polled 30 all U.S. adults by so this is who they polled. They polled white people, black people, the Hispanic community, Republicans and Democrats, the ones who claimed they was Republicans and Democrats. So the study shows that all adults, 34%, feel that it's acceptable. 39% of whites says it's acceptable. Dang. 19% of black folks think it's acceptable. Those are coons. 28% of Hispanics find it acceptable, and in that bunch of Hispanics, there's a lot of white folks in that one too. I'll get to that I'll get to that later. Republicans, 51% say it's acceptable, and then the ones who are Democrats say 21% feel that it's acceptable. So let's break this down, and I'm gonna get to my whites and Hispanic comment. I'm gonna unpack that one because I know that's probably gonna throw people off. So I'm not surprised that it says that the white population, those who consider themselves white, or that's considered white by society, it says that 39% of them thinks that that's acceptable. I'm not surprised because every Halloween, there's some picture on Facebook or whatever, some girl dressed in blackface, some man dressed in blackface. So I'm not surprised with that one. I want to talk to y'all black folks out there. 19% of y'all think that's acceptable? Really? Are y'all kidding me? 28% of the Hispanic community that they polled thinks it's acceptable. Hispanic is not a race. It's not a race. Hispanics are a combination of whites and blacks historically because of slavery and the raping that have happened during the white community contributing to slavery. The ones who owned them and the ones who didn't own them raped, especially the owners. A lot of rape. You know what? Slavery was all rape anyway, because you couldn't refuse it and you had to just take it.
Right.
So all of that was rape. So let me make sure I'm saying this clearly, because I don't want people saying, Jay, you sound like Fifth, you sound like you on some racist stuff. No, I'm not. I'm not on no racist stuff. I'm just pointing out the racism. I mean, we're talking about blackface being acceptable. And then the fact that 39% of who they polled, according to Pew Research Center, according to who they polled, you can look this up yourself. Out of all U.S. adults, 34%, I repeat, 34% said it was acceptable. When it came to when they polled white folks who participated in this research, it says 39%. Black people, 19%. Hispanics, 28%. Republicans, 51%.
Wow.
Democrats, 21%. First of all, any percentage that is here is wrong.
It's wrong.
So I'm not going to get on that, oh, well, at least it's not this high. No, it should be zero. It should be zero. It should be zero. All across the board. It should not be acceptable to anyone.
No.
Okay? Ridiculous.
No.
So let's go back to my Hispanic comment. There are a lot of white Europeans who came to this side of the earth and did the raping and pillaging in these so-called Spanish-speaking countries now. Mm-hmm. These were white folks. So there's white people that are in that Hispanic research, I would think. Now, for the black people who consider themselves Hispanic, even though Hispanics don't, but for the black people who are from, let me name them. They're from Mexico, from the Dominican Republic, from Puerto Rico, from Brazil, from a lot of these Central America, Latin America, South American, and some of these Caribbean island countries. A lot of them consider themselves Hispanic, and they about as black as a laptop. But they speak Spanish, so they say, me no black, me no black. You know? Right. Me no negro, no negro. You know, for those who do that, I'm pretty sure they probably felt some of that was acceptable.
Of course.
You know, I'm just saying. So Hispanic is a broad term. It's not a race. It's not
a race.
So when you poll the Hispanic, the so-called Hispanic, so-called Latino community, it doesn't match up when you're talking to white people and black people, because it's just different. Because who considers himself white is also some Hispanics too. You know, you got a lot of these white Cubans and these white Puerto Ricans that will say that they consider themselves white. Them Argentinians, them Colombians, they consider them, the Peruvians, Chileans, they consider themselves white people. So a lot of them, you know, or if you want to know who calls themselves this or that when they apply for a job, just pay attention to what they mark. That's how you know.
I know the ones from Spain. Spain, they consider themselves European because Spain is in Europe. But the ones. But if you go to South America, like Colombia, Peru, Brazil, not even Brazil. Brazil is predominantly black, man. If you look at it, man. But if you go to like Colombia, have certain areas in Colombia that's predominantly black. Yeah. Dominican Republic especially have a lot of Africans. I've been there once to Punta Cana. Has a lot of African in Dominican Republic.
They don't claim black though.
Shame on them.
What's the difference between somebody from the DR and Haiti? No difference at all. Y'all on the same island.
Because Dominicans have Haitian blood. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna keep saying it. Dominicans.
Well, they share blood. They share the same blood, so they're brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? No different. I'm Dominican. I'm not Negro. You know, I think my wife was telling me that they had some Dominican woman that was telling her that she was black she's African. Yeah. She was saying that she was like, "How dare you call me an African American? Don't call me African American. How dare you?" Like screaming it out loud. Well, see,
telling her daughter this.
Well, here's the thing: the African American part, that's another conversation, because technically, I'm gonna tell you what we all are. We all are descendants of slaves. So whether you are a descendant of slave on Jamaica, a descendant of slave in America, a descendant of slave in Haiti or Dominican Republic, a descendant of slave from where your family from, Guyana, it's a descendant of slave. You know what I'm saying? So we all share the same blood in that regard. So the thing is that you got to watch out for those who do that. Who try to play that game, they ain't this, they ain't that. Because let you be pulled over by a cop, and they'll tell you who you are, and they'll treat you who you are. But back to the blackface conversation. There was a movie years ago that Spike Lee did, and I think I talked about this on season 1, called Bamboozled. And the show Bamboozled. Oh, yes. Great movie. Actually, one of Spike Lee's best movies. One of his best movies of all time is Bamboozled. It's not number 1, but it's definitely top 10. My favorite movie from him is Malcolm X. But
mine too.
Here's the thing. That movie was about black men doing blackface because of the controversies from the minstrel shows. They brung it back, but then they also had a couple of token black folks in there, and their characters became conflicted with what was happening, and they hated it. But the fact that they did this to make money, it was a problem. And Bamboozle was basically, what I got from that was, this is what I got from this. If we're going to be controversial, but if they want to see us like this, then fine, we'll do it. And then we'll sell our souls for it. That's what Bamboozle was about. And Bamboozle is another meaning of you being tricked into doing something that you feel is right, but you've been tricked. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
right.
And so, you know, that's the problem here with blackface. Now that movie is another story, but it just basically talks about how how it's one thing where historically white supremacy has done things to us by making fun of us and them wearing blackface. But then when you now take on the very thing that they did to you, it's like you're putting on blackface. It's like you were the slave master whipped you, and then now you act like the slave master and whip your own people without you being told. You know? And then one thing I want to get to now that I said that, because somebody's probably thinking, wait a minute, Fifth, for the ones that really know their history. Yo, Fifth, they made slaves whip other slaves. Yes, they did. They did make them do that. That movie, which I'll never watch again because because it was told by not our people. 12 Years a Slave. There was a scene where Chitterwell's character was made to whip Lapito's character.
Right.
And he didn't want to do it, but he would have been a dead man if he would. It's one thing. It's one thing where they make you do it. At that time, we didn't have no freedom. But right now, we don't have to do stuff like that. And then you see that slave mentality, slave master make another slave master mentality in the black church. You see it in businesses where black people have moved up in positions in these companies that are not owned by us, how they treat other black employees. You see it with black cops. It ends now.
Oh, yes.
So so I know I'm long-winded with what I said, but the general point is that back then, what they made us do don't have to be now. We ain't got to do it no more. We ain't got to do that.
No.
So this blackface, and the only reason why I said that is because I'm mad about this poll. I'm more so mad at the fact that it says 19% of black people feel it's acceptable. So that's why I said what I said. It's that coon stuff.
That coon spirit.
That started from back then. That is in that 19% of black folks who thinks it's acceptable. Now, I know some popular people are probably saying Fifth, but it's 19%. Why don't you hold the mother people accountable? I do hold them accountable, but my people, I want to speak specifically to y'all. It shouldn't have said 19%. It should have said 0.
It should have said 0.
Zaccheus, go ahead. You have the floor. I'm sorry. I took time, but go ahead.
I'm appalled and I'm ashamed to even be around them folks, because you know why? They're dangerous.
Yes.
They are dangerous to us, to black folks who are striving to own our own. They're dangerous. This is the same way, and I think I said it to you off air one time. When Marcus Garvey was building the Black Star Liner, they have used, I'm going into history now, they have used they paid them, and they used some coon blacks to sabotage the ship voyage to Africa. Yeah. Same thing with Dr. King during the demonstrations in Mississippi, in Philadelphia, and in Chicago. Yeah. When he did protests, they used the CIA, who I don't know who it was, used some black men or used some black people to sabotage the protests. When they rioted in the protests, they thought it was King had something to do with it. So it made King because they use them, these black men and black women, they make King look bad.
Yeah.
Because they said that, oh, King, he protests, but yet people went into uproar and the violence, and during the protests, demonstrations, violence broke out. We have people that are ashamed of who they are. For that count to be 19%, it tells me that you are ashamed to be black.
Yep.
That you hate. It's called self-hate.
Yeah, 19%.
Self-hate. 19. That's a shame. Self-hate. Self-hate.
And it said those were adults. Now, how many of your parents you think are in that? That's not good.
Oh my, that is not good. This is why our kids, some of our kids, do the things they do.
Yep.
This is why kids,
they got coon parents.
Yes, because you have coon parents that don't teach them kids how to be proud of who they are. Teach them to put pink slashes in your hair, perm your hair out, make it straight, and all that stuff. Because, or your skin complexion is, your tone is too dark.
Yeah,
we have parents like that. Let me tell you something. And this is why our kids make the decisions that they do, because of parents like you. Mm. Okay. You know, and I have to mention this too. Back then, because a lot of our young folks don't know this, they had a show from 1943 to 1955, Amos and Andy.
Yeah.
Two white men that used to parade around blackface. They made a hit.
Talk about it.
From 1943 to 1955, Amos and Andy, they had two white men that made a huge hit off of wearing blackface. It was they called it a sitcom. It was considered a sitcom, and that was considered comedy. We have to be proud of who we are, because if we don't, nobody else will. We have to respect ourselves, and we have to. The reason why I mentioned Amos and Andy, because it's just to say that this is where blackface. This is the history of blackface. So even now, like you see brand name products like Gucci and Prada and other brand names showing blackface, like it's like, in other words, like it's something to be amused by, or something to be amused, or just
like it's art, like it's art. Yeah, it's not art.
It's not art.
Yeah,
it's not art. You know, you've heard. I'm gonna mention this too, because you know, some of our sisters, I can understand this, because it was this was last year. There was a doctor that mentioned to a black woman, that you know, she tapped her on the shoulder, and do you know what he told her? His patient, white doctor, you remind me of Aunt Jemima. You remind me of Aunt Jemima, and so we're going back to that now. Aunt Jemima.
He's lucky he didn't get his head slapped off his shoulders.
Exactly. So this is the kind of disrespect that we receive and we get when we don't show pride in ourselves.
Every day till this day.
Exactly. So we got to stand together. I'm just appalled by the 19% of black folks that agreed to that.
That's disgusting, man.
It just to tell me that you don't know your history, you don't know who you are, and you're not proud of who you are. Okay? And Lord help you if you have kids too.
Jesus.
I'm telling you. You gotta be proud of who we are. All me and 50 sustain is that we gotta stop it stops now. We gotta stop the disrespect of our people. Mm-hmm. It's been long overdue. Yeah. We gotta stop it. We gotta put a halt to it. We gotta stick to it. When we boycott something, we gotta stick to it. We cannot waver and say, "Oh, that looks nice. That's a nice bag. I'm gonna get it anyway because it looks nice on me." We gotta support our own businesses. We gotta circulate money in our own community. And this is why a lot of our businesses fail, because we don't support each other. There's no unison. Mm-hmm. That's why a lot of the certain restaurants you go to, and it's like, wait a minute, how come they're out of business? Oh, wake up! How come this soul food restaurant is out of business? But yet the soul food will only stay in business if The Chinese is running it. Why is that?
Lord help me.
Why is that? Why is got to be a different ethnicity running your business? We got to wake up. We really got to wake up. You know, so this is why we are getting these. This is why Gucci and Prada can say, okay, let's just put this white person in blackface. This is style. This is amusing. This will look amusing so people can go out and buy their products.
Yeah.
We gotta stand firm and stand strong in our boycott. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So, and that's exactly what this is about. You guys can look at the picture for yourself. You know, that picture is, it's a sweater that has a turtleneck roll up to the face, and it's black, and then it has the red lips look, like those, you know, those mammy looking figurines, you know, a black face. And then Prada has a bag, or I think it was in the zipper itself has a figurine attached to it of the blackface figurine. So this is where this controversy and this boycott has come from seeing that. I just want to tell people out there, this is America, and this history was founded on the blood of the indigenous people of this land and black slaves.
Yes.
Literally blood, bones, burial grounds under probably the house or the apartment you live in right now.
Speak it.
I mean, right. That much blood was spilled. A lot. It's believable. Do you know that when they do construction, that when they dig up in certain places, when they dig up the ground, they're digging up mass graves of our people and the indigenous people of this land, Zaccheus? I know you know. I know you know.
I know that already, yeah.
But that's how real. But that's how real it is for us, and a lot of people do not understand that. I at least want our people to understand that. I at least want our people to know that and understand that and never forget that. I'm not on this program telling white people to never forget. No, I'm on this program telling black people to never forget. And then what I want to say to white folks is, hey, listen, there are a lot of there's a lot of everybody out there's some good in everybody. It's the white supremacists I don't care for. So I just want to say to all my interracial friendships out, people who have interracial relationships and friendships, if you don't care about our pain, you don't love us.
Yeah, you speak it, yeah.
And if you don't love us, then stay away from us. Simple as that. Goodbye. I think that's hard for some black folks. With their, they get them a white friend or an Asian friend or Mexican or Hispanic, and then you're a young black child growing up, or you're adult by now or whatever, and they are criticizing you for taking a stance against what offends you as a black person. And if they can't understand that, they're not your friend.
They're not your friend, no.
I am not.
I know. Exactly.
It's like this, Zaccheus. I'm going to let you speak. I am a black man, a proud black man. My mother raised me right. I love my people. With that being said, I am not here for your entertainment. You're not going to just have me as a friend because I make you laugh. I'm a man who comes from a history of paying my people. So if something offends me and it's legit offensive, do not criticize me for taking a stance. Get the heck away from me if you're going to do that. You're not my friend.
Right,
you're not my
exactly.
friend. And that's why my circle is small, because you got other black folks out there who are ignorant, and they don't even understand that. Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Zaccheus, speak to that.
I've run into some black folks that actually told me that stop bringing up the slavery stuff. Stop bringing this up. Why do you keep bringing up our history? I know this is black history. Don't bring that. Why keep bringing this stuff up? You know what I told them? I said, does the Jews stop bringing up the Holocaust? They don't stop bringing up they remind you of it.
Yeah. And they should. So, I ain't even mad at that.
Yes. No, we're not mad at them.
Mm-hmm.
So why we
is
gotta
it
be
acceptable
hush-hush?
when right?
Yeah. Why we gotta be hush-hush on talking about our history?
Right.
Yes, we are looking forward in our future, but we cannot learn our history. We cannot learn. You cannot learn about your past. You have to learn about your past. That's what I'm saying. You gotta learn about your past.
Right. You can't move on to your future. Thank you. Exactly. That's right. Exactly. You gotta learn from that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, you gotta teach your kids about Madam C.J. Walker, about Sheila Johnson, about Dr. King, Malcolm X, about Garrett Morgan, about Benjamin Bennica. All these inventors. You gotta teach your kids about this.
Yeah.
We are proud people.
Yeah.
We're not just Sean John and Sean Puffy Combs and so forth. The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
We gotta teach our kids history.
Yeah.
And inventors.
I want them to learn
inventors.
I want them to learn before slavery too. But we definitely can't leave out the slavery part. You know what I'm saying?
No. We were kings and queens before slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we got to learn about the Maroons. We got to learn about these people.
Yeah.
Learn about it so you will teach your children's kids and children about you to teach. You move on to their teach them about their past so they can know how to move on to their future.
Exactly.
We're not staying in our past. No, we're not staying in our past.
Nope.
Because we're not staying in our past. No, we're not staying in our past, but this is 2019. Blackface is still going on in 2019. People still parading blackface in 2019.
Yeah.
So when we bring up we're not dwelling in our past. We are talking about the future. We are addressing these things so it will not happen in the future. We are addressing these things so we can learn and understand that it's important to have our own and not be consumers consistently all the time. That's all we're trying to say.
Right. Exactly. All right. And on that note, we're going to end this show. I want to acknowledge real quickly, but only because of the award that he won. I want to talk about Childish Gambino winning Record of the Year and Song of the Year for This Is America. Childish Gambino, a.k.a. Donald Glover. I don't care for the Grammys. I don't. But I do want to at least acknowledge that. We don't have time to go through the whole show. Because from what I heard, the show was whack.
Oh, I didn't even watch it. I didn't even know it was on. All I just seen was Shaggy Jamaican reggae dancer artist Shaggy won an award. He won a Grammy. That's about it. But
wow, good for him.
Yeah,
that should be his second. Yeah, but that should be his second or third Grammy. Because didn't he get something for It Wasn't Me?
Yes, he did get something for It Wasn't Me. Yes,
that was a huge record.
Oh, that was a big record. It Wasn't Me. That was a big record for Shaggy. So yeah.
So, we talked about this on the Round Circle, about Childish Gambino's record, and so we talked about the video. We more so talked about the video than the record because the video has the impact, not so much the song. Well, hold on. Let me be careful here. I'm not saying the song doesn't have any impact, but the video and the single was released the same day. And because of the visuals of the video, when you listen to the song, the visuals were in your head. Poetry in motion, which was very smart of Childish Gambino. So that's stuck in people's minds. It's stuck in mine. Every time I hear that song, This Is America, I think about the video. I can't help but to think about the song and the video at the same time.
Right.
You know? So I want to acknowledge him for winning that. And he didn't even put out an album, which is interesting. That it wasn't on the album. So he won Song of the Year, Record of the Year, and it wasn't even a single from an album. You know what I'm saying? I find that interesting. I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
I hope I got my facts straight on that because I don't recall an album that was linked to. It wasn't linked to any album. It was just a single that he released, and then he it popped off. You know.
Yeah. See.
You know, I like the song. I like it mainly because of the feel. It wasn't a lyrical record.
Right.
You know, the hip hop side of me wants a little more lyrics, but the song had a feel, and a lot of it was because of the video. What you got to say about that, Zaccheus?
Yeah, that video was a timeless video. That video you could play like the song itself too, but the video you could play like 10 years from now and there'll still be a video that you can just watch and watch.
That's true.
The song is a timeless song too. The song I could play like maybe a year from now, 2 years, 3 years from now, and it's still relevant. It's still good song. Yeah. And we could do that. But the song is pretty good. So shout out to Childish Gambino for winning that, for real. So
yeah. Exactly. So we're gonna get up out of here. Zaccheus, hey, where can they reach you?
Can reach me at Wayne Zaccheus Bacchus on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Also on Instagram, Zaccheus B73. Yeah. And on Twitter, Guess 2 on Twitter.
Yeah. You can reach me at the Fifth General, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All right. So this was another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth, Season 2, Episode 12. Signing off.
Yeah.
All right, Zaccheus, Fifth General, we out.
We out. Peace.
Peace.